you know, been around for a while now, Nick, and this should be a good one.
Yeah, as Matt just mentioned, Joe Heilmann for Rutgers, and of course Rayvon Foley for Michigan State. You see the rankings on your screen. 16 versus 17, top 20 matchup. This is a big one for seeding purposes, of course. Heilmann, a graduate senior, 18-4 on the year. Foley, a senior from Michigan State, 10-3 on the year. Let's take a look at the accolades for both these guys. We could expect a fast-paced match here. Foley is 113-32 in his career. He was an All-American back in 2019 at 125 pounds. He's a three-time NCAA qualifier. He bumped up to 133 last year, so that was his first tournament at this weight. Expected to get back there again and contend for the podium, as is Heilmann, a two-time qualifier. Got to the round of 16 last year out in Detroit when he was with North Carolina. This is his first year with Rutgers. Likely to be the only year for him, despite the fact that he has 2 years of eligibility remaining, including this one, of course. First minute gone in this first period. No scoring yet. Both guys have been feeling each other out, tying up here. And a guy like Foley, Matt, you got to be careful because he is a very, very explosive athlete. We've seen this in the past, particularly against Big Ten competition. I mean, he has a knack for the big move.
Yep.
But, I mean, it's so hard to score on him.
Yeah, it really is. He's a very good scrambler. He's really funky. He's quick. Fake shot there. But they're really, as you said, Nick, feeling each other out. But it's been a high pace so far, even though not much action. Still a high pace. There's a nice low ankle pick there from Foley.
He's going to
Heilmann's in trouble here.
He's going to work up to that single, see if he can elevate it. Now Heilmann being hopped around, trying to throw in a wizard. Foley looking for a trip. Heilmann going to dive underneath. Now he's going to grab hold of the leg. Let's see if he can scramble here. Trying to come up. Now he's going to get a single of his own. Look at Joe Heilmann now turning the corner. Heilmann trying to bring Foley back in. They're along the boundary and wisely will bring him back towards the center and make Foley work. Heilmann driving. There's two! Joe Heilmann scores first. It's 2-0.
That was unbelievable. Joe Heilmann was in so much trouble there on one leg hopping around. He dives under for the opposite ankle of Foley and parlays it into a takedown of his own. Holy moly, that is some high-level wrestling there, high-level scrambling. Just as we were talking about Foley's ability to scramble, Joe Heilmann shows off some of his own skills.
I'll tell you what, Matt, I mean, it's very hard to pull off that move. He basically dove underneath. I mean, you never want to expose your back like that, but he dove underneath, rolled through, and he got the leg, and he ends up with a single leg of his own.
Yeah, it's really a last-ditch effort there when you're when you're in that position, hopping around on one foot. It seems, you know, obvious that the other guy's about to score a takedown, and that's really it's a last-ditch effort, but it's a super hard thing to pull off.
You got to be really confident in your scrambling abilities to pull that off, as Foley does cut the lead in half here with the escape point as we're approaching the end of the first period. And Rutgers, of course, feeling good right now. Dean Peterson kicked things off with a win, and Joe Heilmann the takedown and the 1-point lead. Another look at Heilmann scrambling here.
Yep, look, he just dove, like somersaulted underneath, right through the legs, picked the low ankle of his own, and ends up finishing it off. That was sweet.
Nicely done. Heilmann on top here for the Scarlet Knights. See if Foley can escape. Try to tie things up. With a fresh period, Heilmann might try to go for more of a ride here, trying to build up his riding time. It's at 36. Got Foley back down to a knee, but Foley, very strong lower body. Already stood back up, and out of bounds they go.
That's all right. That was a good 22 seconds off the clock. Built up the riding time in favor of Heilmann, creeping towards that minute.
There's a shot of head coach Roger Chandler for Michigan State, 48-51 in his career. Michigan State, his 7th season, but Matt, I mean, he's done a tremendous job with this Michigan State program, the way they've been able to develop, particularly the last couple of years, and now they're a top 20 program, and they were one of the programs that was basically in the shadow, of course, of their in-state rival Michigan, and towards the bottom half of the Big Ten, but I mean, they have risen quite far up in the past couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. It's a tough team, and you gotta be tough in the Big Ten, and Michigan State certainly has been the last couple of years.
Michigan State 7-2 this year, but like Rutgers, 0-2 in the Big Ten. Scarlet Knights 8-3 overall this year as Heilmann continues this magnificent ride so far. Doing a great job staying latched on to Foley. Now he has him seated, and he has over a minute of riding time right now, 125, excuse me, as Foley finally cuts away and ties the match at 2. Heilmann on another shot here, has the single leg, trying to finish off his second one of the match. He's got it tight right now. Foley fighting, down to a knee. Heilmann trying to shelve the leg now, nothing yet. Trying to drag him back in. Foley looking for a restart. Gotta be mad aware here. Foley just sitting on the one knee, and we're gonna get a stoppage here.
Oh, technical violation.
Look at that. They're gonna give a point to Joe Heilmann for Foley's violation. I can only assume from our vantage point right now, Matt, that he was fleeing the mat there.
No, I think it was, he grabbed Heilmann's headgear. I think that's what the ref signaled. He was sitting down and just, it seemed pretty innocent, but
yeah, at least from here.
It looks like he might have grabbed Heilmann's headgear, and that's what he got banged for.
Well, Heilmann's back up by a point here. Late second period. We'll have to get another look at that. I believe you might be right, man. I was going to say, fleeing the mat, they usually kind of yell at you first.
Yeah, and he wasn't fleeing.
Yeah.
He was
there,
stalling,
yeah.
if anything, but you're allowed to stall when, you're in that position.
Not to stall a little bit, So we're going to go neutral here. Heilmann's going to hang on to his riding time. At the moment, he has a minute 25. Remember, if he has a minute or more, that is a point at the end of the match. Heilmann's done a good job finding the legs of Foley. Does the one takedown. Foley, bit of a half shot there. Looks like Heilmann tried to re-attack, but we've seen a lot of these ear-to-ear and head-to-head tie-ups so far. Very technical battle in neutral throughout this entire match, Matt.
Yeah, it really has been. It's been really fun to watch. And Foley really is going to have to work hard for that takedown here in this third period.
Heilmann working along the edge of the mat. You see, he's trying to circle back into the center now as Foley gets about a half shot there. Now Heilmann working a front head. Not much space to work with here, though. You see Heilmann wisely keeping his feet in bounds, out of bounds they go. 1:03 to go here in the third period. Joe Heilmann, a 3-2 lead, has the riding time advantage at 125. A lot of half shots from Foley I've noticed so far, Matt. Even another one right there. And maybe he's just trying to draw Heilmann to try to get a look out of him. But he's running out of time here. But now that he, look at there you go. There's a stall warning on Heilmann.
Stall warning on Heilmann. He has one left before he gives up a point. He also has over a minute of riding time, so he does get that bonus point.
Yeah, he is in good shape right here. But you see, I mean, even these half shot attempts from Foley are causing Heilmann to just defend here. But he's not actually re-attacking here. He's kind of just hanging on to the head, playing defense, which not the worst strategy in the world.
No, he's definitely stalling, though, which is why he got hit with the first stall. But
he's got 15 seconds here. Now Foley slowly back to his feet.
He certainly is playing good defense, though, Nick.
There's the second stall, so now we're tied at 3, but Heilmann has the riding time point locked. And the very stout defensively performance right there from Joe Heilmann, and he is going to get the win. Joe Heilmann knocks off Rayvon Foley 4-3, and just like that, the Scarlet Knights have a 6-0 lead after the first two bouts. That couldn't have gone any better for Rutgers in those first two matches. Anthony White celebrating will head to 157, and this is a big one, Matt, because Chase Saldate for Michigan State, number 15 in the country, two-time NCAA qualifier, and for a guy who's had a nice improvement year for the Scarlet Knights, Andrew Clark, definitely going to have his hands full here.
Yep, it's a big measuring stick match here for Andrew Clark. See how he does against number 15th ranked guy in the country.
As I mentioned, Saldate is 15th in the country. Coached by, of course, former UFC light heavyweight and heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier in high school. I think people actually knew Chase Saldate before he even went to college for that viral video he had with Khabib Nurmagomedov when he was wrestling him. And obviously, of course, Khabib can handle pretty much anybody in the grappling department. But Saldate was known then, and he's certainly known now. Mentioned he's qualified for NCAAs twice. Has yet to win at the tournament, though, Matt. So this could be the year where he finally breaks out. Because he's 15-4 this year,
right.
49-21 for his career. Clark, meanwhile, having a nice year after finally dropping back to his more natural way. He was wrestling 165 for Rutgers last year as a true freshman. 30-28 for his career, but he's 16-8 this year. He's been knocking on the door, Matt, of some of these big wins. He's not ranked by Intermat, but he is actually ranked by Flow Wrestling. He's number 24, so a couple services taking notice of what he's done this year so far.
Winning this one would certainly put him on the map a little more.
Absolutely, and I mean, especially tonight in a dual meet setting, Matt. If he wins this one, then you look at Rutgers. 5 bout wins already going into intermission. I mean,
yep, with 1 bonus point.
With bonus points and, of course, pretty big upset.
Yeah.
1 minute remaining, first period.
Saldate chasing, has got that single leg now. Wizard there from Clark, and good defense. Now Clark hanging into that Wizard, but Saldate is going to run into him here. Out of bounds they go, and tell you what, Clark, this is what he's been doing all year, Matt. He's been much more sound defensive this year, and he's taken some noticeable leaps in neutral compared to last year.
Yeah. I mean, Saldate was in deep there, and Clark hit that hard whizzer. Was never really in a great position, but, you know, just fended off that attack enough to not give up any points.
Clark was the starter for the Scarlet Knights at 165 last year and did wrestle in Big Tens. But now that he's at his more natural weight, could be an NCAA qualifier this year. Definitely noticed the improvements. He won the Princeton Open earlier this season. Actually beat teammate Al DeSantis in the finals, so he went 5-0 in that tournament. So that was the first sign of Clark making some improvements as Saldate chasing a double now. See if he can finish it off, and he does right at the... Oh, Clark came through. Are they going to get that a reversal or no? The buzzer sounded.
We're going to say green on top still.
Oh, man.
That's close.
Hopefully we get another look at that. I don't know if Goodale's going to challenge this here. He's going to want at least an explanation. Take another look at it. So there's the takedown, and Clark, he grabbed the head. I mean, it depends, Matt. I mean, well, you have to see where the clock's at. I think that there's going to be no takedown there, but that foot was in, and you probably could have ruled that a takedown for Clark if there was more time there. But
close.
It was very close, but, you know, perhaps just, the buzzer sounded there. But tell you what, again, that's the defense from Clark. And now, hang on a second.
Blood time.
We do have blood time. Must have been a small little speck. I couldn't even see it on the monitor. We'll head to the corner there. There's head coach Scott Goodale next to Coach Donnie Pritzlaff. We'll talk to the officials as well as Clark looking to get cleaned up. Another look at that takedown, Matt. So, I mean, it's got the hips covered. That's clearly a takedown. Looks like Saldate was headhutting there for a half, and Clark just ended up rolling through here. Foot's in bounds.
He's not really in control there.
No, and again, even if he was, the buzzer sounded, so it probably wasn't enough time anyway, and they're not even taking a look at this anyway.
It's probably a good call, Nick.
Good mat return there from Chase Saldate. I think Shane Sparks will be proud of that one. Saldate, I mean, you can easily tell right now, Matt, he is very tough on top, and he's going to chase takedowns in neutral. He's going to chase positions. He's going to make sure he climbs the back on top. Now look at Coach Chandler for Michigan State. You mentioned the great job he's done with this program over the past couple of years, finally breaking through into the top 25, number 20 according to the coaches poll right now. Clark to his feet, another mat return from Saldate. This kid's tough on top, Matt.
Yeah, very tough so far on top. Just a tough wrestler in general. We knew this was going to be a tough one for Andy Clark. It has definitely proven so to be so far. Clark really just flattened out, can't really even base up, so Saldate just go over to the side.
Clark flying back to his base here, trying to knee slide, but he's only going to get to the boundary. Out of bounds they go. And it's still a 2-0 lead for Saldate. Riding time not a factor, but he's approaching that 1-minute mark. He's at 51 seconds. Got a caution on Clark. That's his second. And you can see Coach Goodale in the corner jumping out of his seat saying, "You got 2, don't do it again." Good ride from Saldate, has an arm bar in on the left side.
He's just riding very tight. Clark has no answer right now.
Yeah, especially with his arm behind his back right now. All he could do was just knee slide, and he finally got it free, but out of bounds they go again. And that's the power of Chase Saldate on top right now. Minute 13 of riding time, so it is a factor. After the explosion of the first 4 bouts, it's definitely quieted down here in Jersey Mike's Arena. Saldate doing a good job of that. But run Clark out of bounds again. And Clark doing anything right now, Matt, just anything and everything to just try to get back to his feet. But all he could do right now is get to his base and just knee slide.
Yeah, he has no answer. It's not like Saldate is really getting him in trouble or anything with any sort of pinning combinations. Oh, there's a nice explosive move off the whistle from Andy Clark. That's what I like to see. That's better than what he's had off the whistle the past couple times.
Out of bounds we go again. We'll restart. 15 seconds ago in the second period, rather. You mentioned an explosive move right there, Matt. Tried to hit a switch, but got right to his feet. If anything, you're going to make Saldate work here. But this is just a grueling second period.
Right for that switch again. This time Saldate seemed to know it was coming.
He did a great job with that right arm there, Matt, getting around the waist. He's able to chop that arm too, and he's going to end the period on top. 2 minutes of riding time for Chase Saldate. And he's going to choose down to start the third period.
2 minutes third period, 157.
This is our final match before intermission. The Scarlet Knights a 13-0 lead. Off to a great start. But Saldate, who's in the top 15 right now, showing why. But let's see if Clark can get some offense going in this third and final period. But at this point, Matt, based on the way it was in neutral, he might need a turn.
Right.
Clark can only erase the riding time. He cannot get any of his own. Saldate entered the third period with 2 minutes and a second. Tried to roll through there. Saldate headhunting now. Looking for a reversal. He's going to get it, and it's a 4-0 lead for the Spartan. And we're back to where we just were.
Yeah, tough one so far for Andy Clark. Just a little bit outclassed here.
These are the matches, Matt, where we just mentioned Andy Clark. He's knocking on the door of some of these guys, but you can see the difference right now between a guy like Saldate, who is probably going to be knocking on the door of the podium this year,
right,
and a guy in Clark who we've seen vast improvements from, but is a guy that is looking to just get to the tournament. Now, in a dual meet sense right now, we see how this is going as well. Just Saldate very, very controlling on top, and it only gets tougher in the Big Ten with these guys at 157.
Yeah, and it's only a 4-0 score, right? But Saldate has been pretty dominant, and that's how wrestling goes sometimes. It's a low score. Clark doing a good job of not giving up any big points, but he really has not been in a position to score the entire match. Saldate just really asserting his will throughout the entirety of this one. Just Andrew Clark, a little bit outclassed here, but these are good building block matches that, hopefully next year we can see him take that jump up and really compete with a guy like Saldate.
A big mat return there for Saldate. And Clark nearly flattened out. You see Saldate had that right leg underneath the stomach of Clark. He was threatening a boot there, but he'll come back out, and now he's just staying very heavy on Clark's hands right now. He's just broken down back into his base, but that's going to do it. And Chase Saldate, a dominant 5-0 win for the Michigan State Spartan. It's the Michigan State's first bout win of the evening.
Almost stuck him with it.
Well, now we come to arguably our marquee match of the evening. Brian Soldano for Rutgers, Layne Malczewski for Michigan State. Top 15 matchup. Soldano, a true freshman. He has broken out immediately. Met 18-4 on the season. Malczewski, not too shabby himself. 15-3 this year, the junior. 72-33 in his career, a 3-time NCAA qualifier. I mean, it's got to be the match of the night so far. Or on paper.
Soldano in trouble early here.
Malczewski going for a cradle, looking for a fall. Soldano stuck here. We know he's coming. Oh, and Soldano coming back through. Now he's got Malczewski on his back, looking for a fall. Here comes Soldano. He's used to this. Looking for it. Soldano trying to finish the fall.
Oh, that's tight. Oh!
Malczewski's going to roll through. Soldano is holding 4 here, the ref is.
Soldano's got to get himself in a better position here now as well.
I mean, he lives and dies by that position. 4 near fall for Brian Soldano. 6-2 lead for the freshman. Now a challenge brick coming out from the Michigan State side. He wants locking hands. You can see head coach Roger Chandler want locking hands there.
Which he'll get the... I think he's challenging that only there was no back points called for.
I saw the referee hold up a point there. We couldn't get a technical violation. I'm not sure if they're going to warn the bench of Michigan State and give that to the team score. We'll have to wait and see. But here's another look at that sequence, Matt, where Soldano almost got pinned. But, I mean, it's a position he's used to. He's like, I'll take advantage of it.
Absolutely. I think they're challenging the... Oh, man, he was pinned there for a second, too. I think Michigan State is challenging the no back point call.
Well, I saw Coach Chandler come out. He was saying locked hands at one point, but, I mean, there's a lot going on there.
There is a lot going on.
They're going to have to sort all this out.
Because the ref did award a point to Malczewski, and then he switched it to, they banged Michigan State a point.
I see it now. So it was officially a technical violation on the Michigan State bench, so they're going to eliminate a point from the team score, and they're going to call locked hands,
on Soldano,
which is what Chandler challenged, and that'll be another point for Malczewski. So we'll catch you up here. 6-3 in this individual bout as Soldano rolled through, but he was called for the locked hands violation. Another look at Soldano's reversal here.
Right here, man.
Oh,
that was a pin.
Close to a fall
right
there.
It was very close. I didn't see the locked hands, though, Nick. But, I mean, they reviewed it.
I want to say it came back up when
afterwards.
In the treetop position,
yeah.
maybe.
All right, after all that, 6-3, still with about 2 minutes to go in this first period.
Yeah, it looks like Roger Chandler got a warning, but eventually, got into the face of the official a little bit too much, didn't like it, so they deducted a team point. It's 16-5 in the team score. 6-3, Soldano on top in this match, and he is on top here. And again, a position where he just loves to live, Matt. This crab ride gets to his butt. Throwing in a half Nelson, arm bar on the other side. I mean, he's as funky gets.
Yeah.
This is what made him such a highly ranked recruit. 3-time state champion from High Point High School, High Point Regional. Soldano coming through again. Malczewski doing a good job getting his shoulders away from the mat, looking for a reversal. Soldano in this compromised position. His legs are caught, so his arm around the head. No change yet. And now it's going to be a reversal. 6-5. Soldano going to come roll through. making sure he doesn't get his back exposed. But I mean, we saw. I mean, Matt, we knew this was coming. We saw it early on in the year, and now that he's developed throughout the year, Soldano, he's got 22 matches of doing this. I mean, he lives and dies by this position, but it actually works.
It's
unbelievable.
crazy. I mean, his hips are unreal. His strength is unreal. He's going to be fun to watch for years to come, Nick.
It's almost like he just wants to, just grapple it like jiu-jitsu. He's not afraid to put his back out there.
Right. I mean, I thought he was in deep trouble early in the match, and he just parlayed that into, a 4-point near fall.
I'm continually fascinated as to how he does it. Riding time not a factor. We've had a wild first period. Soldano up top 6'5", short time here. All right, catch your breath. Whew. 3 minutes of absolute chaos. It's Malczewski's choice here. Another look at that opening sequence, Matt, the cradle. Soldano in deep trouble, but look at the way he hooks his legs there.
Hooked his leg right there, the left leg, and then rolls it over. It's just a big back arch and really got Malczewski in trouble. And he's going back to this crab ride. It's
insane.
It is crazy. I mean, he gave up a reversal last time with it. And he's getting himself in trouble here. He gets really high. Malczewski is...
He's got that leg in though, Matt.
And he's trying to step over now. It's a ride that, I don't love it. I know he's really good at it, but he got himself in trouble last period. In this period, he's on the verge of giving up another reversal here.
Malczewski looking for a reversal of his own. Has Soldano's arm caught here, and he'll turn into him. There's two.
Yeah, so...
Now Soldano's got to be careful with his shoulder here. He's got to get that free. He does. But Malczewski's up 7-6.
So maybe abandon the crab ride in this one, in this match at least, for the remainder. That's 4 points he's given up off that crab ride.
We've had a wild one right now. Riding time, again, not a factor. Minute to go in the second period. One boot is in for Malczewski, who has some history with Rutgers. We go back to last year. He defeated John Poznansky, pinned him, managed to catch him in their duel last year. And that was a duel that Michigan State won 20-17. Broke the losing streak against the Scarlet Knights. Poznansky, as I just mentioned him, Matt, he is in red shirt this year. Was an All-American in 2021, Rutgers' highest place winners for a true freshman in program history. He finished 4th at 184. Qualified last year. Did not place, though, and he's in red shirt this year, 8-1. But Soldano doing a nice job in his place. And Soldano trying to hit back into Malczewski with short time here, looking for a reversal of his own. He's got to keep going here. He's got 12 seconds. Soldano coming through. Can he get the back exposed? Funky position. And we're going to get nothing here. Whoa. Boy, this is absolutely wild.
Yeah, this is fun to watch, Nick. Oh, another challenge brick comes in.
And I don't know what they're going to challenge here, Matt, unless they think they got near
points.
Fall points here, which...
Back points.
Back points according to what we can do with our lip reading right here on the monitor. I didn't see anything there. It was a completely... Matt, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, let's see. There's the nice ride from Malczewski, really just riding those legs tight the end of that second period.
Not much there. It was during one of those late sequences, at least what I could tell from the late challenge brick, in the last 10 seconds of the 15 seconds or so of that period. But just talking about Soldano in general, man, he's so fun to watch, and this is actually his first match in Jersey Mike's Arena. Only a true freshman. We've seen what he's done away from home, but he's going to be, I would say, a crowd favorite for his career.
Yeah. And when him and Poznansky are
in the
lineup together, whew, that is going to be some fun stuff, man. Some two hammers at the top of the lineup.
Yeah, you don't want to speculate too much as to how that's going to happen. So here's the sequence. Soldano's looking for a reversal.
He nearly got it, too.
Yeah. Looks like after review, there is no near fall points, as we just saw, and that's right there where they were challenging, but not enough time, at least from our vantage point. Of course, the officials thought the same. So neutral to start this third period, and Malczewski already in on a single leg here, as Soldano looking to counter. Already a takedown for 2 for Malczewski, 9-6. Now Soldano's gonna have some work to do.
Yeah, he's trying to.
He's gonna
look at him. He's trying to go for it again, Nick. He's getting himself in trouble. There's back points now.
He's got to be careful here.
He already surrendered 4.
A fall here would be catastrophic for the Scarlet Knights, even though Michigan State was docked a point. And there's 4 near fall points for Layne Malczewski.
Yeah, that's an example of Soldano just trying to do too much there, right? You give up the 2, belly down, work up, you're still in the match. Instead, he's trying to go for a crazy reversal, exposes his back in the process. You said it earlier, Nick. He's really not afraid to, give up his back and go for these rolls in hopes of getting a reversal and back points of his own. But, against some of these high-level guys, you're not going to be able to get that, and you're going to get yourself in trouble, which he just did.
Yeah, maybe perhaps not right away this early in your career. You're going to be able to pull stuff off like that, and now he's in a 7-point hole. Riding time is now officially locked for Layne Malczewski, so it's essentially an 8-point lead right now. The major's back in play, and Rutgers might be thinking it's lucky stars right now that Michigan State was deducted a team point.
It could prove to be a big point in this match. And, I'm just thinking about this match from Soldano's point of view. He gives up 4 back points there. Probably should have just bellied down. He gave up 4 points off 2 separate reversals on the same ride where he just let Malczewski get a little high. It's just, it's his style of wrestling is it's certainly wild, but it can definitely get you in trouble, and it did tonight.
Well, never say die attitude. You still have a little less than 30 seconds now, so you could pull something off here, but Malczewski's doing a nice job with the boot in, and he has his legs figure forward. So looking like this is how it's going to end here, unless Soldano can somehow roll through and get a fall.
10 seconds.
Soldano tried to get through and release that figure 4, but he won't be able to. So it was a wild one. Brian Soldano, though, scored all of his 6 points in that first period, and Layne Malczewski is going to get the minor upset in this top 15 matchup. He wins this one 14-6 by major decision. And that team point could loom large. It's a 7-point lead for the Scarlet Knights right now. Billy Janzer against Cameron Caffey.
I feel like Cameron Caffey has been around forever, Nick.
Well, he is a senior.
Yeah.
These two have some history, actually. 1-1. This is the rubber match between these two. You got to go back a while, though, from when they last faced her. And Cam Caffey, Matt, is a guy who has exploded recently for Michigan State over the last couple of years. He's a 4-time NCAA qualifier. He's 13-1 this year. He's won 12-32 in his career. He's one of the better wrestlers in this program's history. Just has yet to get to the podium. These two last faced each other during the 2019-20 season. They split matches when they were both at 184 pounds. Both matches 6-4 margins. Billy Janzer, looking for a little throw by here, trying to get Caffey to his back, but Caffey, again, really strong in that position. Now they're fighting along the edge here. Out of bounds they go. We get a reset. Janzer, Matt, a redshirt junior, was out all last season with injury, but he's back at 197 pounds. He's a 2-time NCAA qualifier. Got there at 184 pounds in 2020 before the tournament was canceled. And qualified 2 years ago, 197 again. Did not wrestle last year. But he was 21-10 during the 1920 season. Just 3-7 this year. Was dealing with a knee issue this year, so he's been up against it. And as you know, as we've talked about on air, off air, Matt, we're waiting for that true breakout year for Billy Janzer. And again, he's the guy that unfortunately has battled injuries, and we thought we would see more of it after the 2020 season.
Right. And big opportunity right here in this one, and could really ice the match for Rutgers here by securing the win.
He's familiar with Caffey. He's in on this single leg, Janzer is. Good whizzer from Caffey. Janzer hooked to this leg, but that whizzer is just very tight. And we're going to get another stalemate under a minute to go in this first period. Caffey is a guy who, as I mentioned before, Matt, has improved year to year. 13-1 this year. Wonder how good he was last year, too, despite not making the podium. I mean, he defeated Greg Bolzak last year in their dual meet. 12-4, ended up getting a major, and Bolzak ended up making the podium for the Scarlet Knights last year in his final season of college wrestling.
Right.
Getting a little tighter here at Jersey Mike's Arena. Michigan State has owned the back half of this duel.
30 seconds remaining. First period.
5 bout wins for the Scarlet Knights, 3 for the Spartans. 7-point margin in the team score. Michigan State was deducted a team point. Head coach Roger Chandler getting in the ear of the official a little bit too much for the official's liking. As Caffey chasing a single leg here. Janzer defending, short time here. Don't want to give it up now.
Nope.
Janzer hanging on top.
Oh,
and
no.
Gets away and no takedown. Woo. Good defense from Billy Janzer.
I did not like where that was trending, but Billy Janzer fought hard and kicked out of it.
Another look at it right here. Great balance and hips.
Oh, man, that was close. Really close.
Another look at it as Caffey tried to sit him down, and Janzer somehow got that left leg free, and he's able to sprawl back out. Good wrestling from both sides. Caffey's ranked 14th in the country, Matt, but don't let the disparity between records and rankings fool you here. As we mentioned in that first period, I mean, these guys are very familiar with each other.
Right. Rubber match, as you mentioned, 1-1 against each other so far.
Janzer trying to switch off to a double as Caffey looking for an escape. And they'll award the point to Caffey, 1-0. Now again, it gets very, very interesting here with this 7-point margin, because at heavyweight, Matt, you don't have Boone McDermott tonight for Rutgers. He's still battling that injury he suffered in the Ryder match earlier this month, so he did not weigh in tonight. So they had 2 guys weigh in tonight. Kyle Epperly, who was traditionally a 197-pounder, he has bumped up a bit in weight. He weighed in, as well as John O'Donnell. So you got 2 options right there for the Scarlet Knights coming up against the expected starter, Ryan Vassbinder. As Janzer, great defense once again as they go out of bounds. Will reset in the center, and he jogs back to the mat here. And you can already tell the crowd's trying to get riled up here. Trying to will Janzer on. Again, both guys have been stuck on single leg attempts here, Matt, but other than that, not much shooting. A lot of upper body ties.
Seconds remaining, second period.
Late second period. Good snap down there from Janzer. The Rutgers corner likes that stuff, but probably want a little bit more.
Definitely.
End of the second. Janzer down by a point. You know he's going to go down here. As you mentioned, Matt, a win here essentially ices this one for the Scarlet Knights with just 1 bout remaining. Janzer to his feet. Trying to cut away. Riding time not a factor right now. Janzer back in that 4-point stance. Caffey doing a good job staying heavy on those hands. Janzer cuts away. He's out for 1. Here we go, Matt. It's going to end on the feet.
This will be fun. Minute 30. Huge match for the Scarlet Knights.
Good sprawl from Janzer on that double from Caffey. Switching to a single. See if Janzer can fight it off. He's got a whizzer in as well. Caffey trying to elevate the leg. Stepping around behind. Janzer kicks away. We've seen some great defensive wrestling in this one.
Yes.
This is why you wrestle all 7 minutes. It's coming down to the wire. Another shot from Caffey. He's on that single. Janzer trying to crossface. Can Janzer break the grip? Caffey hanging on strong, but his head is stuffed. Under 40. Riding time not a factor. Janzer trying to get free. Caffey re-attacking. Now Janzer back to his feet and defends with the underhooks. And boy, getting tight. Caffey, now Janzer trying to re-attack. Oh boy. So close to either way. Caffey a shot. Stalling warning on Janzer. 15 seconds. Janzer coming around, circling. Did he get two here? Out of bounds they go. They want two. They're not going to get it. Out of bounds. And you see the Rutgers corner saying to Janzer, settle in here. That was close. Looks like Caffey, I think he got that foot out of, like way out of bounds. Well, Matt, we were waiting for it. Sudden victory, here we go.
Yep, first one of the match.
Put 2 minutes on the clock. That takedown was close for Janzer. Couldn't finish though. Here we go. Reminder, any score wins here in sudden victory. Caffey getting backed up now. Janzer underhook, a tough one on the left side, trying to throw, looking for a takedown. Out of bounds. He had that single, but now Janzer the aggressor.
Yep, just ran out of room there. Caffey looks tired, crowd behind Janzer.
Here we go. 90 seconds. Janzer back to that same position, trying to shuck him by, has a single leg. Caffey turning around for two, now Janzer on the leg. We have a scramble here. Front head for Caffey. Can he lock up a cradle? And there's two for Cam Caffey. Michigan State gets a much needed victory to stay in this one as Cam Caffey gets the 3-1 win here in sudden victory, and Michigan State within 16 to 12 here. That was a great match.